I don't want to rotate it, just do the freak on it. Thank you. What's up, guys? What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Express Yourself Open Mic and Live Discussion. How's it going? Some beautiful ladies in here. You look like you're about to take over the world. I just want to let you know the pearls and the polka dots. I just felt a vibe today. You know, right? We got Apache's Legacy in the house, handmade body butters, shea moisture, hand body soaps, body scrubs, bath bombs. I am literally naming things that I see on this table. Okay, hey, scoot over here. Come on over, my friend. Let's all be acquainted. I got on a dress. Okay, let's address the skirt. All right. So this is what happened. So over the weekend, Sunday, I hopped in a car with a comedian and we went out to Sacramento. I know that sounds odd to the rest of the world, but to me, it was an opportunity to go to Punchline in Sacramento. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to Punchline and I'm going to introduce myself. Well, I got there and they put me on stage and I was like, fuck yes, I'm in here, right? After that, I got home. There was a minor altercation with the family. I attempted to run away. I realized I'm not built for runaway. I forgot to take my toothbrush. Like, there was like little stuff I should have took care of before I ran away, right? So in the midst of running away, I remembered that it was wash day. It was laundry day yesterday. And I was like, fuck, this was the worst day to run away. So today I have on a skirt because all of that transpired and I was unable to wash. I felt like I couldn't just tell everybody in here and on live that I didn't have no clean clothes. And I'm like, you grown. Like, what happened that you don't got no clean clothes? This is what happened, okay?
So that was your week.
That's the reason why I got on the skirt. That wasn't my week. That was just Sunday and Monday. That was just Sunday and Monday.
It looks nice.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I really do. It's probably never gonna happen again. I felt less talky today.
Well,
like I haven't talked to as many people as I usually do today, and I feel like it was the skirt.
Because of the skirt.
I did.
Is it the skirt?
Yeah, that was at some point the wind blew and I felt like it touched my butthole. Like, it's been a lot today with this skirt on. I don't think I'm gonna go back, guys. I don't know if it was the wind or if it was in my head, but I felt violated. I don't like it. I was in BJ's today and I scooted across the booth and my whole butt cheek like scooted across because my shorts hadn't moved. I was like, I don't like raw fanny on the BJ seats. I don't like that.
Why
I don't
raw?
think.
Fanny.
Do we not have
raw fanny? Another word for raw?
No,
for
we
leg?
have
For unclothed?
You have protection?
Thank you so much. So yeah, I appreciate everyone's compliments. I know if my mom sees it, she can be like, oh my God, my baby, she look like my baby. But I just want to let you know, Mom, I'm probably not going to go back to this, okay? Okay, cool. There we got that out the way. So you guys have on hats. Where did you get these matching hats from?
You want to let that say?
Yeah, man. Hey, I have a friend named Fontenette, right?
Mm-hmm.
She
I
has
heard about
a
it.
Wow, she must be making some
Pro
kind
tip,
of moves.
sometimes she might wear a skirt, so watch out.
Watch out. Just
Don't talk to her 'cause she won't talk to you.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Right, but she does custom embroidery, and this hat is one of her creations. I love it. It used to not fit so good when my head was way bigger, but now I can wear it. It's totally cool.
What happened that your head was bigger and now it's smaller?
Oh, I lost a lot of weight.
Like, how?
You know you lose weight in your head when you lose a lot of weight.
So you know what? You were the first person to teach me that, actually,
Yeah.
because you told me that the hat now fits, and I was like, well, how does that work out logically? So then I didn't realize that. But you also, ladies, pro tip, if you lose weight, you also lose weight in your boobs. So that's something that you can look for. No, it's true. It's a fact. It's a fact. You can lose the fatty tissues. You won't lose all the muscles that your mama gave you, but the fatty tissues that you got from like McDonald's and Jack in the Box and IHOP and all of that, you can lose that and work it out.
Accurate.
Boom. Confirmed. Yep. They are wearing Nines Apparel hats. You can find them at ninesapparel.com. Shameless plug. How's your week been?
My week has been actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I've been preparing for my concert in Bellflower, California this Saturday, August 10th at 7 o'clock. So I've just been practicing music. I did a performance at some soiree over in the Leimert Parks this past Saturday.
Okay.
And so
Was that the name of the event? Some soiree?
It's somewhere. What soiree was in the name? It's like a jazz soiree.
You can't say that word multiple times.
It's a word. You get
Soiree.
one good shot at it.
Yeah.
And then, like, don't make him say it again. That's rude.
Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then that was pretty much it. Just had a good time with family. I had some some sad news from a friend today. Tommy, his family member had passed away. So it's
I'm
pretty
sorry to
good
hear
time.
that.
Shout out to your friend.
Yeah.
Call the friend down. Yeah, that's never easy, especially when it's a friend, because like you never really know what to say, but you know that when you've been in that moment, you would like to hear something in that moment.
Right.
So I can definitely get that. So here, I'm just pulling up our topics. I'm sorry I'm so unprofessional today. It's the skirt. It's the skirt. It's the skirt.
You can't blame the skirt for everything.
All right, so
What's skirt casting?
we have a third person here
Hey, third person.
that we need to introduce probably. Right, okay, so 4 or 5 years ago, I was working in Lids, and I wasn't having a bad day. I was having an interesting day. I was having a day in my own thoughts and in my own heads. It was very slow. And then one gentle soul walked in, and they were just simply looking for LA Dodgers hat for him and his mom so they could go to the fun
That doesn't
fact.
fit anymore, that hat. It's too big.
Nice!
Kinda.
No, I'm proud. It was too big now. It's too big. That's a good thing. That's a win. Now you can keep it like as a trophy. So anyway, long story short, he was the guy, and just off of like his spirit when he walked into my store, he felt very calm and very comforting, and so I just started talking to him, and I feel like I told you like some of my personal business. He was like, "Wow, that's so interesting," because he let me know he was a photographer, and so that's kind of how that is exactly how we met. That is exactly how we met, and we've been friends for 4 years because he told me the most important thing I had ever heard at the time, and it was to live in your purpose. Yes, off the rip, just off the streets, like, girl, you got a purpose and you need to go on and live in that. And like literally, I tell him all the time, like 2 days later, I got ready to beat the out of somebody, and I was like, you know what, that nigga told me to live in my purpose, and this doesn't feel purposeful, so I'm gonna let it go. And that's how that went. And so I texted him, and I was like, I feel like our friendship is important. Kind of like after I texted you when I was listening to Running, I was like, yeah, this is an important friendship. We gotta keep these people around because they give you good energy and good people. So we have Mr. Gabel.
Shout out. Yes, he called me G. It makes it easy.
They call him G. Please follow him on Instagram at Bacham Fitness.
Bacham Fitness.
Bacham Fitness. That is BAUCH Fitness. If you don't know how to spell that, that is
I'll
on
bet
you.
BAUCHAM.
There you go.
As in my Bacham Fitness.
Bacham Fitness. And so, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, we want to know.
The most interesting things about you. List 3.
3. Okay, so number 1, because this is the most fun thing, is I've lost over 100 pounds. So
Woo!
that's exciting. I do a lot of different creative things. So, musician, like I have a degree in jazz guitar performance. Then I do photography, like she mentioned, health and fitness, a lot of stuff. I like doing things. I'm an only child, so I had to do stuff growing up. Otherwise, I'm just sitting there bored, twiddling my thumb. So, I got into a lot of different things.
My mom had kids at 12, so I still have that innate ability to just figure out stuff and just do a lot of stuff. But then I also have that, leave me alone. Like, I don't even want you to talk to me right now.
Oh yeah, as the only child, I
feel like you get that.
like that sometimes. Like I used to not be around people, so let me not be around people. It happens.
You get used to it. You get accustomed to it. That's so funny. Okay, so the thing that made me want to reach out and have Gabel co-host with us is because he does these Thursday Thoughts, and I felt like, yeah, the Thursday Thoughts, and they're so empowering and so in line with my life and where I'm going. I said, we need to get this guy out here and talk to him on live about some of our topics that we be going on, because we get pretty deep. I feel like we get deep, right? It gets deep. We be crying.
No?
I may have shed a tear when we was talking about the Lion King movie, but that's just because it was trash. That was it. Shout out to your t-shirt.
Oh my god, the movie was so terrible.
I didn't even support it. I didn't even support the movie. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't even go see it. Did you guys go see Lion King? Alexis, how was the Lion King?
I like Lion King. I'm with you. Right. How did you not
That one, we can keep that one.
Because the previews were terrible, and I didn't like Seth Rogen's voice coming out of my Pumbaa, so I was mad.
That was one of the best things about Lion King. Beyonce, however, is not. I'm sorry to say. They need to stop putting Beyonce in
Beehive,
stuff.
please don't protest my show, okay? I cannot be controlled by...
As a musician, yes. fire. But they gotta stop putting Beyonce and stuff.
Do you think she's not a good actress?
No.
I think she's not a good Nala. She's not a good Nala. Leave my Nala alone.
She is not.
Beyonce.
She's not the right roles.
I don't care how much spiritual.
Listen, okay.
I like
Beehive,
that.
please don't protest our show. He didn't mean it. Okay.
They know the truth.
That's a hard
Oh
name.
my
They know the
goodness
truth.
gracious, that was
Beehive,
so
let me see. Anybody
harsh.
comments? Wait, look.
Oh
The
my
reason
God.
why they're behind is because of her music, not because, oh my gosh, the actress Beyonce. Don't say that.
So you trying to tell me Fighting Temptations was garbage?
The movie? No, you're talking about the acting. That's what I'm talking about. The acting.
You know what?
Amazing in
Literally.
that movie.
She's been in 7 other ones.
First of all, she was amazing in Carmen.
I liked her in Canada.
She was amazing and obsessed. She was dope as fucking
Amazing.
obsessed.
Oh my gosh. Let's just stop talking. Let's go back to the
She did an amazing job in obsessed. What do you mean?
This is why all art is subjective. Continue with your
Where do
story.
I comment my anger comments?
Zero places for you.
Ma'am, we don't have any place for your complaints right now, but we'll work on it, okay? Oh my, I can't believe. We
Go
just
on
gonna get into
Facebook.
our topics
On
because
Facebook.
this just, you got my head spinning. I just felt like the Virgos is gonna kick me out now because I didn't defend Queen Beyonce. Like, it's just too much. So, Cabell and I went hiking on Sunday?
Shout out to physical activity out here. It was something.
First of all, that was my first time ever going hiking.
Did you have a skirt on?
I did not. I wore my
That
regular
would
pants.
definitely wouldn't
You've
work.
never seen a hiking
It's
skirt?
literally the first time you have ever seen me in a skirt. You just
It
assuming
is.
I've been out here
It's
wilding out in
only
these
like 3
streets.
months.
Like, but 3 months of consistent pants and not giving a fuck. You should know now what I'm up to. Like, at this point, you should be like, yes, this is not a girl. This is just a person with a vagina. That's what this is. Like, you should, I just feel like you should. Anyway,
Wrong thing. Right.
so we went hiking. And,
Remember, wait, real quick. Remember that paw print we found? Gigantic paw print. We didn't know what it
Sasquatch.
was. No.
yeah.
That's
Like, not
what-
even, like, all
Somebody
just
told me something very scary. It was like,
You wanna
oh,
see
it's
it?
probably a bear. I said, why?
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 Why is it a
At
bear?
Kennethon Park? No,
It's
please no.
barely football.
Oh, dang it. I didn't
Wow.
repost that video.
I
Dang
heard
it. Okay, but the thing
It's
was
somewhere.
at least 2 times as big as my foot.
Yeah,
It was
the
just
paw
crazy.
print.
It was crazy.
Somebody said a full bear. I said, not at the park, not at Kennethon. Please
Not
don't.
at Kenneth Hahn. That could be probable.
I'm a fan.
It was better than our werewolf theory. I did. I saw the print. I compared it to my shoe size, and I was like, werewolf. That's what this is.
That's what we went with.
And he supported it. But on the hike, he brought up a very interesting topic about men and their role in our lives as women and things like that. And then I just was wondering, like, how far it went that men did not feel like they were valued. And I mean as valued, like, I know for me personally, I have not been verbally taught, but just seeing, I have learned to use men, like taking out the trash, moving the cars, mowing the lawn, reaching the high stuff, cooking the food, like basically not anything to like get, love and affection and all of that. It's just like use them for what they're worth. Nothing. So you know what I mean? So that's what it's basically been. No, that's what I've been taught. Not how I feel. That's what I've been taught.
Wow.
Yeah.
Go on.
It's gotten to a point where guys have relayed to me, like to very tall guys. It's like they already know as soon as you call their name, they are radically reaching for stuff up high. So it's like, why do y'all? Sean, like, yeah, he's not even tall, but he know that he's being used. So I wanted to know,
My man
like,
is tall. He's sitting down.
okay.
He's taller than people.
He's 6'2". He's 6'2" in his head, guys. All right. I'm messing with you, Sean. But I wanted to know, like, do you guys still feel valued?
You want to tackle that first?
It depends on what situation you're asking me. So, what we're talking about.
I said I haven't specified yet. So in all
Right.
areas, do you feel valued? Or where do you find value if you do feel valued?
Me personally, it's in sincere appreciation. Like being appreciated without the expectation to be appreciated back. Just being appreciated for the human you are and not what you can do. You feel me?
Speak on it.
Like you were
Okay.
talking about being used. Like I'm tall, I'm 6'1", 6'2" with a good pair of shoes on. So I don't want to be appreciated just because I get the Cheerios for you because you want some
Right.
Cheerios. You feel me? So, but somebody saying they appreciate who you are.
What'd you say?
I said, but what if I really like food and I appreciate you getting the Cheerios for me?
What if
That's
I
cool.
really appreciate
That's
you doing that though? How about that?
But like-
Gerald, do you feel valued? Like when you're in a relationship, do you feel valued? Or not even in a relationship, like just as a man, do you feel like women value you?
Well, we just live in such a different time now.
Answer the question.
And so we have to just kind of define like what is value for that particular person. And so when that comes to, I was just having a conversation with my sister about this, about the perception of like masculinity and just it being appreciated for me personally would just be like an emotional support or just like a certain comment, but not necessarily, because I feel as though for me with my interactions with women, they're more so fast to talk about all the negative things, all the irritating things they have done. So I feel as though to be appreciated, you definitely can say the positive just as easily as you can say the negative. So as far as being valued as a man, I definitely believe that we are valued because we're obviously still living and everything. And so maybe we get fed or we get help on projects or we get help on like conversations and stuff like that. But as far as like, can things be better as far as like equally, there are some shortcomings for men as well as women.
Like
So we're
what?
talking about men right now.
We talk about men. The women will have their time.
Okay. Like shortcomings as far as just not thinking that all men are trash. So like that's a type of shortcoming right there. It's like all men. I've dated like 6 of them. So all men in the world are definitely all of them are trash because all of them. Or stuff like that is like you kind of count out guys that automatically can't obviously be qualifiers for you, but you automatically want to say, oh well, the 6 men that I dated, there's a
I'm only
commonality in
laughing
there.
so hard because this guy asked me out the other day, and him and my ex-boyfriend had the same birthday, and I was like, nope, can't do it.
See, that's
Not gonna
Remind
do
me
it.
of a guy.
It's like, your birthday what? Nah, I've been there and done that. Can't do that. No. That's funny. Okay, Sean, I got a question. When was the last time a woman made you feel valuable?
Oh, my girl, yeah. Shit, I don't know.
You don't know. So you're in a relationship right now.
Good answer, though.
And she makes you feel valuable every single day, is what you're saying?
She come to shows and stuff.
Oh, that's dope. So you see your value in like support? Like if
Yeah.
she shows you support, you feel like she values you?
It's
Okay.
a trick question. I don't know. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Real quick, please, we are live, so please keep the outside volume down to a minimum. We don't want to pick up any other conversation. We want the people online to be able to engage with us here right now. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering now, if a man is not in a relationship, do he still feel appreciated by women? Or do y'all kind of just like not giving a fuck about?
It depends on who you're around. Like your circle,
circle.
people you interact with, that's super important. Because like he was saying, there's a lot of women out there that's like, nah, all men are trash. Like, nah, fam, not quite. So it depends on who you're around.
Okay, hold on.
I know.
Pause. Ladies,
Yes.
I got a question. What's up with us that we like what causes that feeling of all men ain't shit? Like what creates that?
They ain't. I'm just kidding.
They ain't Alexis. Oh my
I don't feel that way.
god. Okay, so how do you feel about the opposite sex?
I mean, I think each individual person has their own merit. So,
Yes, look at the individual.
I love it.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the individual.
That's that crystal manifesting her purpose.
See that?
but I mean, yeah, each individual person has their own merit. But I mean, I'm also kind of on the same list that Gerald was talking about of the person who's only done it so many people. I've only technically had 3 boyfriends. So I definitely can't say all men anyway.
Right.
I just want to state for the live and everybody in accordance, I'm willing to go out on dates with every single man in America just to figure this shit out. I'm willing to go on a date. I'm willing to do
I
that.
bet you're not.
That's a million
You
free
put
meals,
that
I'm
out.
for sure.
Oh, this is
Okay, no, let's think about
That's so
I had to
right.
think about all of the calibers of men. I don't think all of them could come. Niggas that eat mayonnaise, I can't do that. I
If they
cannot.
what?
You about to
If they
have
eat
Michael-
mayonnaise out the drawer, I can't mess with them.
You about
Out
to
the
have
drawer,
Michael
but
Bay
I said
DMs
drawer.
right now. Just
I said
explode.
drawer. It's people in this world that just scoop mayonnaise and eat it out the jar. This is the thing. I can't.
But you run from this thing.
So, but see, the thing that I was like talking
First of
also,
all.
hold on. I was talking to my sister about like value, and from my experience personally, I feel as though men can't be valued because women feel as though what they go through is worse. And so therefore we can't have time to focus on what men go through, boom, because y'all feel as though what y'all have to do right now is more than what men have to go through. So we have to kind of be quiet and, you know, suppress what we feel. And so therefore we feel less valued because we have to, I would use this word lightly, put most of the attention onto what the women are finding. Let's just say that, you know, men just walk out and don't pay bills or whatever. So you find a man that actually comes in and pay bills, but as far as like once he's fulfilled that particular need or value in you, what have you done to help him feel value at that point? Do you even care? Do you even know what he's even going through?
I rock with that.
I got something to say on that, but she got a rebuttal on her face, so I'm gonna give her a moment.
She on the whole line.
What's up?
Okay, 17 feet closer.
Yes, you do.
What's up?
She said,
What are y'all going through? What are you going through?
They're capable. They're capable of going through stuff. Okay, no.
No, go ahead. Continue. No, let it finish.
Because you're not saying anything. Because you're putting us above your feelings. So what exactly are you going through? Because you're not telling us.
But see,
Okay.
that's
Oh wait,
what it is.
hold on. So what she's saying is she has no clue what a man's going through because
He's too
of what you just said.
Ken,
She
I
used
can-
what you just said to say, I don't even know what's going on right now.
I can explain what I
You're
is.
suppressing your own feelings.
Hold on. Yep, go ahead.
Okay, let me reply to that. So here's my issue with what you said, sis, because unfortunately today, men are told that they're not supposed to have emotions anyway.
Yep.
So how is
We covered that last week.
He gonna come home and tell you about his day and what he went through if one, he already is taught that his emotions are not equal, nor do they equate to a woman's. And you as a woman don't tell your man that when he comes home, he is allowed to unload his day as well.
Ooh.
So here we are back to where we started.
Right.
What are you going through?
Are you asking him personally? I just wanted to know where y'all was at because I could figure it out. You know, I got you.
Because she kind of answered what I was trying to say. So therefore, if I'm trying to explain what I'm trying to go through, because you don't even really know what I'm going through, and blah blah blah. So therefore, now let me give more attention to you, what you're going through. So let me just be quiet, because when I tried to speak up and tell you what I want to go through, you ignored it or you took over the conversation.
Now here's another point. Like real quick, a lot of times.
Literally just went back into a circle.
But a lot of times, the reason why we don't express and open up is a lot of times our vulnerability is not appreciated or respected. It's difficult for us to be vulnerable because it's seen as weakness. Like the natural human emotion of vulnerability, the practice of that is seen as weakness because we are men. And as a result of that, we don't want to be seen as weak. We don't want to share stuff like that, especially with our women, because they're ideally supposed to see us as the epitome of strength, right? Like the man in your life. So anything that speaks to us being less than that, we're like, nah. But how can we make you feel stronger? A lot of men find their strength in making their women feel stronger. I know this because that's what I used to do in relationships. I acted as a rehabilitation center for women. And it felt good. It gave me value then, at least I thought it did. You feel me? But that wasn't the case. Because you lose yourself in that.
That's such a very complicated thing to hear men say, because it's like, I'm sorry.
It's all good. Take your time.
Like, you guys are taught to be like, yeah, that's beneath me. So that makes me feel like you feel that love is beneath you. Like you are above love. You
No,
are
it's not
above.
love. There's certain expressions of love.
Yeah.
You feel me? We're taught that certain expressions of love are not for us. Like vulnerability is not for us. It's what we're taught.
So
We
you're
have to-
above vulnerability.
Not even above it. Like I would say, knowing what I know about vulnerability and expressing emotion and understanding emotion, that we're not worthy of vulnerability. That's how it's presented to
But
us.
we are worthy of vulnerability.
We
Right.
can't help it.
Right. That's another
That's
thing.
just not fair.
I'm in agreement.
Yeah. It's not fair.
I'm in
It's not
agreement.
fair.
Like,
It's
that's
It
not
kind of goes to like what, okay, like if you're raising children and you have a boy and a girl, the girl cries, you kind of want to comfort her, and oh, it's okay, baby, blah, blah. But your boy cries, and you're like, no, we don't do that. Don't cry, like, suck it up. And,
I
but
never
this
was
is not
like that with my
thing.
son, though. I've never been like that with my son. Let me say I've never been like that because I only have one kid, so I don't have a daughter crying to compare him to. But when he cries, I used to ask him like, like, what's the matter? You can't explain to me what's the matter. Okay, do you believe that you're going to be okay? Okay, if you believe you're going to be okay, then why are we crying about it? And then after that, he's like, oh, you're right, mommy. Like, I don't got to cry no more. So I don't see, like, any difference in the way I was brought up to teach my son that than to say, like, why. I feel like this is a bigger topic than I can tackle, but I just want to go knock on every mama door and say, hey, don't let that boy cry.
Right, no, that's it. A lot of young men and young boys are not getting that, though. They're getting the traditional,
They're not taught they have
like, don't cry.
that are
Emotions,
just passed
yeah.
down.
Emotions are not for us in society.
Yeah.
Which we need to change.
Hold on,
Right.
go ahead, Mary. Hey,
I
Mary.
just said, why not?
Why not?
Why
Right.
not?
Why
Why not
not?
what?
Why aren't you taught that it's okay for you to show your affection?
Again, it goes back to
You're-
that not being seen as weak.
Is that how you
Historically-
see yourself?
No, not at all. I used to,
Okay.
but I've been able to do my work.
So if you don't see yourself as weak, so what's wrong with crying?
No,
I think.
cool with
I
it.
think.
As an individual,
I think we're fixated on what we've learned now versus what we were grown up taught. So
Yeah,
now
exactly.
we're okay with being vulnerable.
So-
but when we were growing up, then no, it's not okay.
oh yeah, yeah,
We're
yeah.
okay.
So
Yeah.
how vulnerable are you?
I can say for a fact, as a friend of both of these men, I feel like they express their emotions very well. I can say that about these two. These the only two I got though. I don't know about the rest. I can't speak for Sean. I can't do nothing. I can speak on the back. Aaron making the chicken. I can't speak for them. But I know for these two, like we've talked about things, and I know like they're good at expressing their emotions to their women in their relationships because it's easy for them to then relay it back and express it to me. And it's not no different than the conversation. They're literally expressing the conversation that they had with their women. So it's like, you know, I know already that these two can communicate their emotions. But like I said, what about the Seans of the world? Not to say that you can't cry, Sean, but like, but why not though? Have you ever felt like, damn, I really want to cry and still stuffed it up and did not cry?
Hell no. Oh, no.
You never feel like you want to
Cry in
cry?
private?
You see what?
You don't cry in private?
I cried when my grandmama died. That was it. But yeah,
But
I
you
don't
don't cry in private.
So has nothing. So I'm just trying to understand. I'm not accusing you. I'm not attacking you. I'm just saying. Do you? So have you never felt like a reason to cry? Nothing's ever happened that made you want to cry? Is what you're saying?
I didn't process it that way.
Okay, you didn't process it as tears. It was just like, oh damn, that's crazy.
Something needs to be done, and then by the time, like, okay, somebody's dead, so like you gotta bury him, you gotta do shit.
Yeah,
And then by the time you get around to, I have time to cry, it's like
it's
that's
already
done.
over. It's already over.
They've been dead. So.
And the way I look at emotions is completely different because I'm not a crier at all. You know, I have very strong emotions, but I look at it as, you know, going back to like the highest form of intelligence to me is self-control, you know, and I think I expect my man to have a lot of self-control, you know. So emotions are something that I think way too many people in today's society get super emotional about stuff that doesn't mean nothing, you know. At the end of the day, death is a good reason to cry. I think, you know, the cancer, I mean, people are dying. I mean, there's some real shit that goes on in this world. And I think way too many people get emotional about some dumb shit. No offense.
I agree, but I feel like I need a list of dumb shit. Like, I just feel like I need a list, like, okay, these are the things that we don't need to waste tears on. Because I honestly felt like, so there was a situation where off of all of the conversation I was having, I felt the need to, hi ladies, welcome to the open discussion. We're talking about men and their value. I know you're here for Comfort LA, but if you have something to say, just say it, okay? It's the open discussion. Look, let me tell you twice. Girl, if you got something to say what's on your heart,
I see her
okay?
soul open up like, for real?
She's like, wait, I could speak on it, child? Yes, you may. So I was actually, so I had a lot of conversations that made me feel like I needed to reach out back to my ex and just either close that chapter of my life or revisit it, right? I didn't know which one I wanted, but I felt like it was necessary for me to do that, right? So I reached back out and he messaged back like, I've moved on, I think you should too. I immediately went into my feelings, like dipped into my bag of feelings. Like 5 minutes ago, I didn't even know if I still wanted to be with him. But now that he don't want to be with me, it's like, bitch, no, where is these old feelings at? Let me go find them. And I texted Gerald, and I didn't know what to do with my emotions. And as soon as he said it was okay to cry, that's when I cried. But it was like, it wasn't I felt like I had to fight those tears because the situation was so far removed. It had been so over with. So I can see how guys on a day-to-day basis do what I did. And that was literally the first time somebody has ever had to invite me to cry. Like, literally, I cry off of everything. Like, the Hannah Montana movie, the original Lion King, everything. Like, I cry about everything.
And, like, if you were my friend, I'd be like, girl, he's not even worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a level of emotion that's not even... I mean, anybody say that about me or any of my friends or anything like that, like, you know, this man isn't even worth your sympathy or you being sad about him. You know, you're a queen. You know, a queen wouldn't cry over a pauper if a pauper was like, I don't want to
Yep.
hit you, you know?
Yep.
So that's the way I would look at it.
I agree wholeheartedly. And after I had my good, healthy cry and got over it, I realized it was nothing about the guy. I was crying just because it was time for me to release everything I had been holding on to. And that's what brought the tears out. And I feel like that's the same thing with crying over movies and stuff. Like, you just holding on to it and you see something and it invites you to be able to release some emotions that you got going on. You had something.
That's what I was trying to say. So therefore, you release certain people. First of all, people deal with emotions differently. And whatever, everything's subjective. But yes, the fact that she cried was just a release of, not saying that she still wanted him, but then therefore, if you're sad, it's okay to cry. Because you're sad doesn't mean that you have to chalk it up. It doesn't make you weak. You know, like to make us stronger in our weakness. And so therefore, like, if you cry, then I think that's fine. I'm not saying you, of course, do it all the time. Not whining, but crying.
Oh, I can
Yeah,
take
that's
that.
different between whining.
Jesus,
Yeah,
Lord.
versus crying.
Look, she even scrunching up her face. She's like, oh no, I can't take that whining.
After the conversation, if you're a whiner, we got
I think that's what we're trying to get at.
Right here.
No, I'm just saying, like, just jumping into the conversation, I guess, because I have no problems crying. I don't know why someone would want to hold that in. I mean, outside of natural stereotypes of men not supposed to show their feelings or anything like that, but it's literally a release. Like, if you keep that in, everyone is different, obviously, but holding that in could transform into something else. Like,
That's probably why men have more heart attacks than women.
Like that. Yeah.
Your brother.
Yeah.
Because it's going to get out one way or another. But it's going to be,
Right.
you know,
So
fine.
for the people that just walked in, we're talking about do men still feel valuable? Like, on a day-to-day, in a relationship, regardless. There has been times where I've, like, looked at what I was doing and how I was acting, and I realized wholeheartedly, like, you don't even like him. You just like the benefits that come with him. Like, bitch, get out of here. So I just wanted to know, like, you know, do men still find value? Now, I guess the question is, do you guys find value in yourselves? I guess you do. Men still run the world, pretty much. Like, women, we making us we sliding in there real quick, real slide, but at the end of the day, like,
Y'all need us. Oh, shit.
boys.
Can you elaborate?
Look, let me, you see my meat and stuff? Look, y'all got me dressing now. Y'all can see me saying, like, get to, I don't think I need you. I just.
So I'm coming from a perspective, like, so I date a lot of guys who feel that if a woman is, like, too independent or she has everything going for her, what value do I add? And I try to tell people that you're still valuable outside of materialistic things. So I'm just curious to know, what do you think those things are?
I feel like in today's culture, I like the whole female empowerment. That's good. Get to the back, sis. However,
Can't stand you, Devin.
with a lot of this female empowerment, it's almost like when some women are like stepping down, like kind of like, I don't need no man, I don't need no man. And then when you think about it, if we as men stood in our power, because that's the men, we create a lot of problems. We have given you guys reason to kind of like turn your backs on us. But we got to remember that we got the seeds, y'all just the fertilizer.
Hey, you can't say just and fertilizer. Damn, you can't say just and fertilizer in the same sentence.
I'm just saying that if men as a collective, if we decided to go on strike and not fuck
So
any of you,
he mean to reproduce.
humankind will never, it will cease to
Do you,
exist.
hold on. Let me use my big voice now. Do you realize that the same goes if the shoe was on the other foot? Like, if everybody packed up their pussy and left, y'all would not be reproducing either?
Yo, we need each other. But I feel like today's culture has created.
Okay, then be specific, Jeremy, because you said y'all need us. Like, you know, like, we ain't gonna be shit without y'all. I just want you to know.
Forget about us, you know?
Okay, so no, that is literally, so I'm sorry. Your point is literally why I brought up this topic, because I see that women everywhere are starting to be like, I don't need a man for shit. But I see Shantanette and I could use a man for a couple of things. Like I feel like, maybe we're not all in agreement on why we don't need men. You know what I mean? So I just brought up the conversation.
Every girl's favorite song says, real ass bitch give a fuck about it.
Every girl.
Oh,
I knew she was gonna say something.
Right.
I felt it.
You
You gotta speak on it because I don't even know that song.
I seen her whole next to every girl.
Every girl.
Is that not, I thought that's a lyric.
Look, now Tammy trying to fall in love and get married. Like, hold on, let me find my ring that I keep with me. I done found a queen. No, she don't want you now.
That's the lyric, though, right?
That's the lyric from the City Girl song.
That's the lyric. That's the
They're all in
lyric.
their princess stage. They're not a queen like you yet.
Go ahead, Alexa.
Go ahead, Alexis. Go ahead, Alexis.
I feel like I'm 10 his age, except younger. And I feel like it's good that, because just like from the past, because you're used to be like, getting your Mrs. degree, like all women cared about was finding a man. So I feel like maybe we went too far on the right, but I feel like it's better to be like, because here's the thing, women who like depend on a man, okay, what happens when you don't have one? Like, can you function? Can you pay your bills?
Right.
Do you know how to make yourself not cry every night? Can you fix your house up? I just feel like it's better for at least at some point in your life as a woman to like be alone so you can know how to handle yourself. You can't depend on men
That's
for
true.
everything.
I think the true key is interdependence.
Right.
Where we understand and operate in the reality that we need each other. Like the strong, independent black woman is a strong trope that's been around for forever, right? A lot of women operate in that, and they've been raised to operate in that. And that is good to a point because we need that independence. But when you bring that into a relationship with another human being, especially another man, it gets way more complicated. Because like a lot of times the way that we feel valued is because we do things for you. Not because you can't do it for yourself, but because you now don't have to.
Right.
Like I tell my girl that all the time, like when I open the door, like she opened the door, it's like I had to go close her car door, like, nah, I get down, we've been a year and a half, like hold on. Like I opened the door not because you're a woman, because I'm a man. You feel me? So it's like the independence is important because like you said, you have to learn to take care of yourself. God forbid you don't end up with a man or in a relationship. But at the same time, when we do come together, we get to walk in the power of those roles. Whatever the roles are that you guys have discovered work for you.
Right.
So it's not like, oh, you got to clean the kitchen and everything, well, I go make money. Like, nah, whatever works for you works, but walk in the power of independence,
And I personally hate that. I feel like people should still be able to move the way they move, and if you become one with somebody, y'all should start moving as a unit. I don't feel like the kitchen should be specifically mine, and the laundry should be mine, and you should be mowing the lawn. No, I am capable of holding a weed whacker. If we want to go out there and mow the lawn together, let's do that. Like, why do we have this separation of boundaries? Like, it's just insane to me.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's like
I didn't have a question or a rebuttal after that. I just want to say my piece. Like, this is stupid. I want my man to know that he might be in the house busting some suds while I'm mowing the lawn. I just want him to know that might be a thing, okay? So now that there are ways for men to feel valuable in a relationship. How do we implement the things that we learn now today into our daily lives, our everyday lives? Like, we got to deal with men on a regular.
Cuddle him.
Y'all not going nowhere. Y'all like to be cuddled. Like, how do you show a man that you value his presence?
By allowing him to be Little Spoon.
Little Spoon. Okay.
I think.
Alexis is like, she's not talking about you specifically, Devin.
I think personally, you first of all either ask or listen to what he wants or needs, and so therefore try to cater to that as best as possible. As well as obviously he's going to cater once a day. We're talking about the men right now, and so with that helps in understanding someone and complimenting him versus trying to necessarily complete what he's trying to do, but just compliment because that's what he needs. That'll help. Did I answer the question?
Yeah. What about you?
I would say discover the intangibles about your man that are outside of his quote-unquote manhood. So don't just appreciate the fact that he makes money, changes oil, and all that. Appreciate certain things about how he makes you feel about yourself. Like something that you're not going to get from men in general, but something that you get from your man. Find those things that are very individual to him, because that's where our true value is felt a lot of times, especially when dealing with our women, is what about us do you value that has nothing to do with our gender and our roles. Like, that's where I think the true appreciation
Right.
I have no idea I'm dead ass. Like I have no clue what a man can do other than like the providing part, and that's not to say like that's a good thing. Like I legit have not been shown or taught what a man is. Like I can see, like, okay, this is the boy, this is the girl, this is the boy, this is okay. I used to be able to see this was the boy, this was the girl, this is the boy, this is the girl. Just be clear, shit done got different. I don't really know all the time. But as far as like, you know, they got that song, all of the songs, what a girl wants, what a girl needs, what's a woman's worth, all of that, you know. But there has never been a conversation on what it is that men want, what it is that men need, how to emotionally feed your man. I see a lot of posts and it's like y'all both gotta be equally yoked. Y'all gotta water each other. Y'all gotta feed into each other. Okay, what do he even eat? Like I don't even know what to give him to make him, you know, feel like he's a better person. And then, okay, that's a conversation for a different day. But as far as that, like I have not been shown like what a man needs. I feel like all of you guys, I feel like every single man I have come into contact with, they so guarded that you literally gotta peel them back like onions. Like y'all seen Shrek? Like it's like an onion. Like I just gotta keep taking off layers, and every single layer is like, oh, I like him a little bit more, and I like him a little bit more, and I like him a little bit more, and I like him. So I was like,
that's the beauty of the journey, and also the pain of the journey. Right.
Not requiring patience, like.
No, but it's like I said, interdependence. We have to learn each other. So there's that weird part when we first get together, where you have to learn what makes each other tick. Like, what about her can I appreciate that has zero things to do with her being a woman? Like just her as a human being, her as an individual. The same thing. Like ask questions though. Like a lot of times we don't like asking questions because it opens up a space of vulnerability we haven't gone to yet, but we might not like the answers.
Right.
You know?
Choose better men.
What you say, Tevin?
Choose better men.
Choose better men.
More comfortable with being vulnerable.
I don't know how we at. I'm working on it.
It's like 12 of us, bro, in Inglewood.
It literally is. Like, I'm gonna have to start going door to door. So, ma'am, how did you raise your son? Did you love him? Did you not? What's up? I had a brain fart after I was talking to mamas. I had a question. Dang it. Now I don't remember. Anybody else have anything to say on this topic?
I think men also need to realize that they have healing that they need to do.
Ooh.
So as much as like we want to say we need each other and as women we need to ask the right questions, sometimes men have to do their own healing so that they are capable of even answering the right questions with truth and authenticity versus just some shit coming out of their ass because they think that that's what we want to hear. And their actions aren't able to match up to it because they haven't.
Sis, do you know I done had, like Sierra, I done had 3 boyfriends in my whole life. Do you know all 3 of them niggas keep telling me I don't listen? It's like, bitch, when did you say something worth listening to? I don't understand. Like, they all say the same thing. You don't listen. Men want to be leaders, but they don't even know where they're going. It's like, not y'all too. I got y'all. I'm not talking about y'all. But the rest of them, not you either, Sean. I got you now too. But the rest of them, Colin, I fuck with you. Not you either. Tevin, I don't know about your comments right now. But I'm just saying, like, so I had a conversation recently about men leading women. I am starting to realize that women, regardless of where we think we at, regardless of what we doing, we may need a little bit more guidance. As far as what men can teach us. Don't look at me like that. You don't know what's on this man's mind that he can teach you, but you already shutting it down just because it got an opposite sex on it. So I say that because, look at my man's in the back. I say that because these 2 men right here have taught me more in 4 years. Like, I just met him like maybe 6 months ago, and he's taught me things about myself that I didn't realize about myself. I met him 4 years ago. He taught me things about myself that I didn't realize about myself. So I say that to say, if we stop so much focusing on what he can do physically, because there's some women out here that be like, what that dick do? Like, I don't care about none of that. I can wash my own car. So I just feel like if we stop caring about all of those outside entities, women can really, like Tevin said, we on our little movement right now, but I feel like this movement could have got on a little bit faster if there were women out there willing to hear a man's input on how we can make ourselves better. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mary. I feel like I was talking to myself up here. God goddamn, y'all the niggas that told me I could be better, and now y'all not gonna get my back. Like, what's up?
You had it.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
Cool. Finally
amen.
listening. Tell. Make sure y'all DM all my exes and be like, she listened now, bro. You fucked up.
And I got a comment. As far as the men healing, I definitely truly agree that we definitely need to heal. Everybody needs to heal as far as like maybe a relationship issue or maybe a family issue, some trauma. But the thing that we had circled back to at the beginning was because we don't express our vulnerability that kind of trails into our relationships with other people. And so then when we try to express that, if it gets shut down, the only way, not only way, but sometimes, from what I'm told, some ways that either they drink, either they smoke, either they gamble, either they play the video game all the time, they kind of get some type of release because they can't express that. And they should have dealt with that before they had brought someone else in their life, which everybody should do as an individual, as you said, interdependence, to try to find out what makes you tick and understand if you're ready to even involve somebody and complement your world. And so, yes, I do agree again with the men healing and as well as everybody in general, if you haven't dealt with something.
So what would you think would be a good way to approach someone that needs to do some healing without sounding like a mom, but more of like a concerned friend, out of like love? Because you know, you guys, as hard as you guys are, your egos are very fragile. So there are certain ways that, in certain words that we have to use when we do communicate with you guys. So what would be a good suggestion?
Yeah, again, that's another very individual thing depending on the man that you're dealing with. I know for me personally, I guess the hardest thing for me to deal with is understanding or realizing that I've hurt my woman, because I know that if I hurt her, it comes from me being hurt, right? So me personally understanding how she was hurt by my actions, words, my energy, vibe, whatever, that puts me on the path to begin healing. And at the same time, it's cool to like offer up stuff. If you know something that's good at healing people, like if there's a certain book, a video, audio clip.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Why, what do you have to do in order to, how do you prevent the hurt in the first place?
Oh.
Prevent the hurt?
Yeah, because like you said, you've been hurt, which is why you hurt her.
Right.
How do you prevent that in the first place? How do
You can't prevent hurt.
How do you heal yourself before you go out and hurt somebody else?
See, that's the wild thing about pain and healing is a lot of times you don't know you need to heal until you hurt somebody or until you've been hurt.
But you know you hurt though, because you felt that pain.
Right.
So you know you hurt.
You know you hurt, but a lot of times you think it's gone.
Right.
So you think there's nothing to heal. And then the remnants come back.
Now, is that your mind tricking you, thinking that it's gone?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Because it's a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
It's a coping mechanism. If you feel like it's not there, you don't have to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? So,
Yeah. You wasn't in here, but I just told everybody how I cried a week ago over my ex that's been gone for 4 years. So, you know, I don't think that's specific. What you're asking, I don't think that's specific to men. I used an analogy to say like, you know, the samurai swords. When you get cut by that samurai sword, you don't really know you cut until, you know, you start bleeding all over the place. That's the same thing with being hurt emotionally. You don't know you hurt emotionally until you get ready to move a certain way. And it's like, oh shit, that's leaking. Like, you obviously don't watch any Asian, any Oh, you know what I'm talking about? Okay, cool. Yeah, so you get ready to walk away and then your top part starts slipping away from your bottom part. You're like, nigga, that kamikaze me. That's exactly the same thing. Yep.
But yeah, no, you was right. You got to do your work. And a lot of people think they're above doing work. A couple different scenarios. People think they're above doing work, and they have no idea what that work looks like. And I've just discovered over the past like 18 to 24 months what it looks like for me. Because what might work for me in terms of healing might not work for my man right here. Right. Like I can throw on an audio book, or I can read something, or look at a video, and I'm good. But some people need a more hands-on approach. They need to sit down with somebody, talk face to face, feel energy. So it depends.
But the work hurts. The work it
does.
It doesn't feel good.
It's terribly awesome.
So the hurt that you're already feeling to do the work is gonna go deeper.
Yeah.
And people shun away from that.
Mhm.
Because why the fuck would I want to hurt myself more?
Right.
But that's what it takes to get to the root of where you are in that hurt that you're feeling.
Yep.
It is. It's like
You gotta give yourself that time.
So, I just want to silver line, okay? I want to let y'all know for a fact, this is a fact. After the day that I cried over it, all of the niggas was in my DM after that. It was like, God was like, finally, she ready. Like, that was a fact. So once you really do let go of that hurt, the universe can feel that you let go of that hurt and stuff. People started complimenting my hair. Like, I didn't have the same hairstyle for 4 years. And people was like, I really like what you did there. The same shit I did yesterday. Thank you. Like, it's different. They see you differently when you start seeing yourself different.
Right.
Silver lining, go ahead. Y'all was on to a good point.
And getting back to the work, she was saying, like, doing the work is like if you get a fish hook stuck in your finger. If it's stuck too deep, like, you cannot take it back out the way it came in. You have to push it through your finger, experience pain again, and then cut the source off, and then you can. That's how work is a lot of times. Like, it's not pretty like it is in the movies. It's like you're in the arena and you face down in the dirt.
And there are no rules to healing either.
No.
There is no set way on how you can heal. All you can do is hope somebody can receive you in that hurt, and then lift you up out of that. And that's.
One thing I wanted to say about comment or what you had asked is like how you try to help them, or some things that you say. One of the things is that individual on the receiving end has to want to heal. Like they have to want to be open to that, because like they say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it.
Yep.
You can say all of the right things, you can say it in the right tone, but if they're not ready to receive that, it's not gonna happen. So they have to be in a position or ready to receive
That's
that.
right. Yeah. A lot of times you gotta leave people where they at.
Definitely got to leave people where they at. Well, we're almost out of our hour, so let's just jump on down to the next topic. Yep, confirm this is what I'm gonna do. In business, in life, it is always hardest to get our family to transition with us when we want to do something new. And so it's like our family and friends are the least likely to support a new venture as far as us making money or following a new path, a new career. Everybody's shaking their heads, yes. How do we move on from this? That's what I want to know. Like, how can we move past caring that our friends and family won't support us?
I think one thing.
Or actually, let's go back. Let's back up. Why is it so hard to support our friends and families when they do something new?
I know I heard an answer. I don't really have my own on this because I, like you, kind of go through that. But the answer I heard is that it's like this twisted version of protection. Like they see you starting something and they want to protect you from all the hurt and pain that comes with going into a venture by yourself, right? So a lot of times if they give you that support, it'll make you want to go further. And for them, that's scary. They just want to protect you, keep you in your little bubble, keep you like, oh, this is Shantanette, like this is my daughter. This is not Shantanette, the clothing line owner. The beast, the titan out here. You feel me? So a lot of times it's a twisted type of protection.
No, I had to go hard like that and say the beast, because in case my mama was watching, I need her to know, like, you raised the savage, okay? But I just, specifically, our relationship, there has been times where my mom has yelled at me and told me I needed to sit my little pretty ass down somewhere in somebody's office and just be in air conditioning stuff. And it's like, why do you feel like I am so incapable of being out in these streets hustling? She doesn't think that. She doesn't want me to be out in these streets hustling.
Right.
I want to be out in these streets hustling.
I think it's capitalism, to be honest with you.
What do you mean?
I think it's capitalism. I think that you see it more so in African Americans and Caucasians, where there's a very much a selfish nature. The family structure has been broken down. I think a lot of that has to do with slavery. I think that Hispanic, Asian, and other nationalities, they're very supportive when one is trying to do something else. But like Black people, I think we're one and the same because we are a product of slavery. And I think that is the reason why our family structure is the way it is, and that we don't support one another. But I think that other nationalities are the complete opposite of that, unless you're just doing something that they don't respect.
I don't think it's specific to blacks and whites. My man Colin is Middle Eastern, and I know for a fact he said his dad didn't support him doing comedy. Is that right? Or did I just make that up? It was somebody.
Well, my dad does. My stepdad is kind of like, you better make money.
But it goes back to something that they don't respect. So Asian culture, very much not supportive of the arts, So that has something to do, that has nothing to do with the family structure. If you were trying to be a doctor or a lawyer or something like that, they'd be all on board, you know what I'm saying? So,
I don't think it, okay, so that's why you said you think it's capitalism. You think if people support what they know is going to make them money?
I think that a lot of people have haters within their own family, you understand? Like, I don't think you have that in other nationalities as because there's a family structure there. You know, Mexicans, everybody lives in the same home and they're all trying to get it. You know what I'm saying? Africans come here, they're all in the same home, everybody's trying to get it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But our family structure has been broken down to where you have uncles and cousins that you can't rely on or can't ask for things for. You know what I'm saying? That won't come and support you no matter what you do. Won't be at your graduation, won't be at your comedy show. You understand? That's a breakdown in the family structure. You understand? And that is something that is very prevalent in African Americans. That's something that, slavery started that. And that's something that, because Africans are the complete opposite of that. And that's something that is very prevalent in Caucasians as well. And like I said, it's that breakdown in the family structure where we're not supportive of one another. And like I said, Middle Easterns and Asians, it's more of an issue of, the honor of the family. Everybody wants to come here and be lawyers and doctors. They're not trying to be entertainers, so they're not going to support that. So that has something to do with values, and that's a different thing.
Right. Okay. Go ahead, Cece.
Rich guy, I totally get both sides. There's another side of it that I've seen where the people that are closest to you do not support you. And it's more of I've seen you since you were younger. I know you to be this person. And we are least likely to show family members and stuff like that we've changed. They're least likely to see that change in you because they know you as a little kid and you still peppermints out their purse or whatever the case may be. So they see you as that one person. They don't see your growth. So when you pop up and you like, oh, I want to start my own business, then it's how you gonna start a business, but I've never known you to be responsible. And in your head, you're thinking, dang, for the last 4 years, I've been real responsible. Like I got a car, I got an apartment.
That part. No, y'all, true story. When my family,
where you were, not where you're at.
Okay.
So, but then after that, it becomes the whole they want to protect you. So you want to go into something that they don't know is going to make you money, and they know you as this person. So okay, I don't see how you going to make money, and I don't know you as the responsible person to do this. No, I'm not about to support you. I'm gonna leave you where you at.
Well, where does my family stand at? Because my family know all of us ignorant, and when I told them I was gonna I'm a stand-up comedian now, one of my aunties specifically was like, I didn't even know you talked. Like, what? Where have you been at this entire time? Like, I'm always talking shit. But
to be completely honest, when I first met you, you didn't talk a whole lot either. Remember when I met you?
No, I'm an introvert. I'm truly an introvert. It takes me a minute to get comfortable around people. I was at work. I had to talk to you. You see how that worked? I was at work when I met him.
You know what? I bought 2 hats.
But there's another aspect of like when you bring in race, when you speak upon, I'm gonna say black. I'm black. I'm not African American. I'm black. So when you talk about black people, you have to also think of like generational, like where we come from. Like my dad is 80 something. So I just quit my job 2 months ago and started my own business. Like to this day, even though like I'm able to, for the last 2 months, been able to continue to keep a roof over my head, and pay my bills and, like still survive, he still is like, so you're not going back to teaching? And I'm like, no. Because in his mind, you go to school, you get a degree, and you get a job.
Right.
And being an entrepreneur, even though he was an entrepreneur after he was laid off of his good job, he struggled. So me being a woman, his daughter also, he doesn't want to see me struggle. He doesn't want to see me, without, I'm not married. I don't have anybody that's covering me, outside of him if he was to pass away. And so that's a part of the story too. But then also like your family, we aren't taught entrepreneurship. When we were slaves, we were at the height of our entrepreneurship because we had to learn how to cook, how to do hair, all of the different things that we did. And then out of that birth, the generations that were able to do the Black Wall Street. And then you see like the feminist movement, which had nothing to do with us, because Black women, we was already ahead of doing our own thing. So when you look at our family dynamics, we aren't taught as a family unit to start a business, to save and buy commercial property, or to save and just buy a house and everybody live in this house until you're able to buy something. Our thing is, I can't wait for my child to get 18 so they can get out.
Right.
You need to be staying home because you don't know shit at 18.
Right.
Not a damn thing. Girl, say it again for the people in the back.
Legit teenager.
So it's like our mindset has to change. Like our mindset has to completely change. And then we were talking about this earlier. Like we have to be like Harriet Tubman. Like either you gonna go with me or you gonna die.
Yeah.
And that you gonna get left behind. And that's it because there's too many of us that's just they're just
Stuck,
out here.
stuck. And I'm glad you said that because my brain told me to tell you that if you just started your business, leave that nigga alone. I was gonna let it go, but you just said we all gotta go together. And all going together, I'm going back to the other topic. I don't know nothing about the nigga. You didn't say much, but her face said it all. I know it's somebody. So I just want to tell you from sis to sis, if you want to take care of your business, leave that nigga alone. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's just what the energy arose to in the moment. Okay. Hey. Okay, so now that we know why it's hard to get support from family and friends, how do we as the entertainers, entrepreneurs, move forward and say, damn them that don't want to support me, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to get it anyway without falling apart every time they say something to me?
Believe in yourself.
Yes, the faith and support. You have friends that have supported you. You have a supportive circle, but also the energy that you give of I'm going to do this. I'm successful. I'm amazing. I'm great. I'm absolutely awesome. Then that people will congregate near you and uplift you. You don't necessarily need, because you have to remember, she is your auntie and she is family, but she also is an individual that has gone through things as well. She's gone through disappointment. She's gone through her, even cousins or even like young people, like they're going through these situations, so they can't necessarily see the same vision because their life isn't your life. Their vision isn't for you. I'm sorry, your vision isn't their vision. That this is your purpose. And so living in the purpose, you can't have everybody around you all the time that don't connect with you. You know what I'm saying? For that journey. And that's all I gotta say for that.
Yeah. This is one of those things you gotta think about. Like, think about your family supporting you. Maybe like it's a solid like 30 people, right? Like a solid 30 people. You say, "Oh, my family and friends don't support me." This is not counting all your Facebook friends and all that. But if you think about like a musician, comedian, like you get to go meet new people that know zero things about you, and they don't have this preconceived notion about who you are, where you came from, what you're capable of. All they know is this is the name, this is on the flyer, I'm coming to have an experience. And you get to walk in the power of people not knowing who you are. And those are the people that are going to support you. And then you start popping. And then your family's like, oh, that's a little Sean. They used to not talk.
Yeah, a little.
Right. Is she in the whole movie? Is that a Netflix special that just popped off?
Definitely, I'm on Amazon Prime. You can check it out. It's a self-made comedy series, episode 1.
See that?
My mom sits up and watches it all the time. And it's like, you should have. All right, it's fine.
Right.
She don't watch it all the time, but she watched it. And I felt special.
Yeah,
like, this is cool.
Just go and get new. Be excited about people who don't know you, getting a chance to know you. And then you pop, and then your family's looking at you like, you should have bought my Amazon Prime thing. Now this is Netflix special.
And I will say that we can't ignore that it is a real feeling to try to feel accepted by someone that you try to respect. So you just have to try to dwell deep into why that's important and why you need their approval for you to move forward. And that's a personal journey. I'm not sure exactly what it is. I can address it that it is a real feeling. I don't want to ignore the fact of, yeah, we're great, we're awesome. I don't care what anybody thinks. It's like, that's not true. You care what other people think. You wouldn't fuck outside thinking, well, do this. Anyway, so that's all I want to say, just to address that. Yes, people do still try to find, acceptance or just approval of what I'm doing. Mom, dad, cousin, mentor, teacher, that is a real feeling, and don't ignore that. Do address it. Do address it in some way, shape, or form. Not negatively, positively.
Not negative? I don't know. All right. Well, my last little bit about that is that, like Gerald said, everybody can't see your visions. Everybody's not going to see things the way that you see them. But as long as you see yourself in these positions, I think you said it best that first week. God doesn't send you anywhere He doesn't provide provisions. So if you see yourself being in that place, know that you're going to get there regardless of Auntie Susan and Uncle Timmy and everybody else is gonna get on board and stuff. Uncle Timmy is a pedophile. I feel like it. So, like, all of those people, like Gabelle said, they'll either jump on board and support you, or they will not. And I honestly have gotten to a point at every family function, I'm like, so y'all bitches could share just hilarious shit, but Sean don't get no love. Okay, cool. That's what's up. No mac and cheese for none of you bitches, but that's just me, you know? But like Gerald said, we gonna try to go positive, and I'm gonna grow as a person, and just in being in full support of people going out and jumping on their own way. I just want to shout out the small business owners that I know off of base. So shout out to Mary's Heavenly Creations back there in the back, making custards, desserts, and treats. We got Stone Cold and Piss Pooch right up here in front. That is marijuana dispensary and pet rescue, and also like Piss Pooch is veterinary
technician services.
Veterinary technician services. She gave my dog a bath and cut her toenails, and I wanted to hug and kiss my puppy. So that's what she do. Okay, bam. And then of course we got Apache's Legacy featured here today as one of our vendors with our hand custom. You have to make custom soap now. I'm gonna put it out there with our handmade soaps and shea butters and teas. You do custom soaps. She does. Oh yeah, and now I have the whole bar. She did, because I was gonna get a bar that's called Chantanette. We're gonna have to do that. Yeah, so Apache's Legacy is here with all of her stuff. I see the bath bombs is going down to like 5 of them now, so I'm gonna have to go give me one of them before they run out. But make sure you come on down to Comfort LA, and that is a wrap with our live discussion. Thank you guys so much for participating. We appreciate it. I looked at the two people that was